What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video I'm going to be reacting to various Inflight200 releases from September of 2024. I figured it'd be appropriate for me to get caught up on the Inflight200 announcements that have been posted within the last month, since I haven't done an Inflight200 release video in quite some time. My last video came out on August 24th, and I know that they have announced a whole bunch of batches since then. And there is one from August 28th that did get announced as well, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at those, courtesy of the Waffle Collectibles newsletter. So first release we're starting off really good for our retro North American friends, a Pan Am A300. Very nice to see that. Then another A300 for Olympic Airways below that. Next up, we have an Air Serbia A320 with sharklets on here. This one has IAE engines on it. And Yankee Uniform Alpha Papa Oscar is the registration. Moving down, we have a Wizz Air A321neo wearing a special livery, Fly the Greenest, which doesn't have a whole lot of green in it, mostly pink to match the branding for Wizz Air. And below that, we have an Air New Zealand A321neo in the regular livery. I think that's the first time I've seen one of them, since the rest of the releases I have covered, to my knowledge, have been of the Star Alliance livery. We have an Edelweiss A350-900, a very common release recently from manufacturers. WestJet 737 MAX 8, and also an Aeromexico example to go with it. Got a freighter now for Southern Air 747-400, the customer code 412 BDSF, so that means it has been converted from a passenger to a freighter aircraft. And then continuing on, an Atlas Air 777 freighter, the newest type for the Atlas Air fleet. Trans-Australia Airlines DC-930, that tickles my fancy since it is a DC-9, though well outside of the region that I typically collect. We have a Scandinavian DC-940 up next. This one looks like it's the polished livery. We also have a polished hockey stick for Eastern Airlines on the DC-950. A TWA L1011 to round out this batch. Unfortunately, no photos that I can find, but it's in the twin globe livery from the 70s, so this is the much older livery for TWA. And now continuing on, we have the next announcement. This is from September 8th. This was announced as part of a collection sale thing that he had, so let's take a look here at what has been announced. Air Canada Rouge A321 with fence tips. There's an Evergreen International 747-200 in here. That is cool. I always like to see Evergreen International. They're a bit unknown to some people. Air Canada DC-930 in the old livery. This is with the red stripe, and the links are not working, so I can't check the information. It just keeps redirecting to the front page. Swiss Air DC-950, and then, a United A320. This is with the blue tulip livery, or rising blue. Very, very cool. So now we'll continue on to September 10th. So just 2 days after that, Inflight200's got more announcements for us to assess. So let's take a look. A Mexicana DC-1010 with an American registration on here. Labeled as a DC-1015 on the page, which I think would actually be correct because Mexicana, I think they were the only carrier that got them, but maybe there was another one too. I know only 7 DC-1015s were built. We have a teal Tasman Empire Airways Limited Electra in here. This is a Air New Zealand registered aircraft. Very cool. Very similar to the Air New Zealand livery for the time. Then we have a Pantheon Airways A319, which has Olympic titles on it. So I'm kind of curious as to how that came to be. But it is the same registration and everything, and the country's all the same, so must be a rebranding, and they just left the Olympic titles on there. We have an Avianca Columbia A320 with the #1 on-time livery, so to promote their timeliness of operations. Moving down, we got a Qantas Freight A321 P2F, Victor Hotel X-Ray Foxtrot 4, so they've started to put numbers in the registrations because I guess they ran out of letters. A Turkish A350-900 below that, and an American 707-100 on here. But this should actually be... Oh, no, that's the 707-123 model. That's very interesting. But the engines must be like a later variant of it, because I know that there's a 707-300 variant, which has newer engines. A little more efficient, but still very much loud. Eastern Airlines 727-100. This is with the white top hockey stick livery, and it has that same sticker, which I believe is a bicentennial sticker, if I remember correctly, that I also have on my Electra from Gemini Jets. A Dan Air 727-200 below that, and then we have a house livery for Boeing, a 737-900. A Southwest MAX 8 with November 8889 Quebec as the registration. Thomas Cook Airlines 757-300 with the blue livery. That's a very nice livery. I kind of miss Thomas Cook, even though... Well, I did get to see them once in New York. That was quite a few years ago now. We got a Zoom Airlines 767-300 up next. I know that someone's been trying to revive that branding, but here this is the original Zoom from the 2000s, a bright blue plane. Then we have a BWIA West Indies, which has now become Caribbean Airlines. This is a DC-950 for the airline. Taka International 737-200, along with an Aviateca 737-200. Also an Aero Costa Rica. So we got 3 737-200s from Taka, Aviateca, and Aero Costa Rica. Very cool set right there. So now we'll continue on to the next announcement, which is going to be from September 25th. So let's take a look. Aero Condor A300 B2/B4 at Hotel Kilo 2057 is the registration. It is labeled as an A300 B4-102. British Airways A320 with the One World livery and sharklets below that. And then we move to a retired type 767-300, as they don't have those anymore. I thought I remember seeing one in Chicago, but I think that may have just been a mirage or something. Then we have a 777-300ER below that. This is Bravo Lima. Lufthansa 737-200 and also a Condor 737-200. Interesting to note, the Lufthansa has an inverted colored tail compared to the Condor. Then we have Hong Kong Express, Airbus A320-200. This is an A320neo, actually. Dash 261. That does not sound like a type that exists. It should be a 251. No, it's not a special livery, at least according to the Waffle website. Turkish Airlines A321neo below that, and then a Swiss A330-300 with the older livery before they enlarged the titles. We have a couple DC-10s, Iberia and Laker Airways. Very cool. And Laker Airways has got the Skytrain colors on it. Also a very nice choice. Another Electra here, KLM, a very old KLM livery from the 1950s, I think. Yep, this is labeled as a livery paint scheme. Cool stuff. Alitalia A300, B2 this time. This is in the 1990s livery with the older green livery that they had before rebranding to ITA today. Marinair Holland A310-200. I see Qantas Link, a Network Aviation A319. Not sure what the Network Aviation is all about there, but it is Qantas Link, Airbus A319. Nice to see that. And then Azul A350-900. I think, yes, Azul has plans to get rid of this type, which is a bit interesting, I guess. I think they're going to phase them out with A330neos or something. They must prefer them over the A350s. Alaska 727-100. This is with the Prospector tail. I think that's a slightly different variation of the livery that I have on my Gemini rendition from many years ago. A UTA 747 Jumbo. This is a Dash 200 variant. Cool beans again. French registration. And then below that, South African Airways, a 747-300, and I see a couple cool DC-9s. Hughes Air West, we got a yellow banana, and then we got a Continental DC-950. An ex-Musair airframe, judging by the fact with the Mike Charlie in the registration. And then that is all of the in-flight announcements for this release video. So again, getting caught up on those as I wanted to get back on track with the latest in the Inflight200 world, as there's always a lot going on. That first August batch, that's really cool with the Pan Am A300 and the TWA L1011. Would definitely be interested in ordering those if I was a 1-200 collector. And then moving into the September 8th batch, which only had 5 planes. Nothing much of interest. I guess really the only thing would probably be the United A320 Blue Tulip. I do want some more Blue Tulip planes, because I do not have a Blue Tulip plane in my collection, which is a bit surprising. I have pretty much every other livery, but actually, no, I do have a Blue Tulip, a 733. Just forgot about that for Retro FSD. But I would like to add some other Blue Tulip planes into my collection at some point. And then the announcement from 2 days after that, on September 10th, seeing some really cool stuff with that American 707 and those three 737-200s down to the bottom. Nice choices there for sure. And then continuing up onto the final announcement for this video, September 25th. Hughes Air West DC-9, I'd definitely be interested in ordering one of those. Again, if I was a 1-200 collector, you just kind of have to take that perspective if I'm talking about anything I'm interested from Inflight200 or any other 1-200 scale releases that I cover. Just think of it as from a perspective if I were to be a 1-200 collector, which of course I'm not. I'm more 1-400 because the planes are much cheaper, they take up less space, so it's a win-win situation over there. But I always like to dip into 1-200 every so often, as I like to pick up a plane that might be of significant value to me or something that I really, really, really like. So much so that I want to get its larger counterpart in my collection. So that will do it for this Inflight200 release reaction video for September and into a little bit of early October. I'm sure they'll probably put out another announcement literally right after I upload this video, so that's just how it is. We'll have to hit that up next month. Keep an eye out for the Gemini Jets release reaction video for October tomorrow, scheduled for 4:30 p.m. Central Time, pending my schedule. Looking like my schedule should be fine at around that time, so I will set aside some time to get those releases covered and get that video out for you guys to enjoy so that I can continue on with what I need to get done. With that being said, that is the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.